We filed bankruptcy 6 years ago and we're in debt again, and I want to go over what that debt is. The total amount of debt is $92,589. So we have two cars. One car is $19,812 and the other one is $21,404. And so that is a combined total of $41,216. Our credit cards between me and my husband are $32,715. And we have loans. I included like a firm, bread, which was our furniture. I included that in there. I even included our phones, you know, like when you go to Verizon and get like a phone and they put it into your monthly payment. I even included those. So all of that included is $18,618. We have multiple loans from Upstart and Upgrade. Oh, and Avant gave me a loan too. So yeah, $92,589.
This is why bankruptcy is never the answer. I mean, I see people in comment sections all the time on these videos that I watch and that we react to here on the channel. And it's literally of people saying, oh, I filed bankruptcy. That, guys, all that is a Band-Aid. It's a Band-Aid. It's a quick fix. But I don't think you're really going to get the full effect and understanding of what you've actually done to yourself financially until you dig your way out of it and then you cross the finish line and become 100% officially debt-free. Now, if you're in the utmost, just absolute, never going to get past this type thing and you need to file bankruptcy, well, then discuss that with a financial advisor. But to me, I think, I mean, the proof's right there in the video. If you are going to file bankruptcy, all that's doing is just fixing the current problem, but it's not fixing the lifestyle that you're living. And if you go right back to living in debt, what do you think is going to happen? This is why financial literacy is so important and why I make these videos.
Are you ready to see what $66,000 of debt looks like? The balance on my US bank card is $1,428.75. This is my Citibank card. It's currently at $9,555.20. I have a Chase Sapphire card that I got purely for travel reasons, and that is currently sitting at $6,967.58. I have a credit union credit card that is currently sitting at $9,404.62. This card is a credit card from Columbia Bank, and it's currently sitting at $1,145.26. A Home Depot credit card with a balance of $7,035.07. My car loan is currently sitting at $13,096.47. Last but not least, I have a personal loan that is sitting at $18,135.61. This is a grand total of $66,768.56. Always remember to be kind, especially to yourself.
Oh goodness, it just like kept going. I was like, first of all, how many credit cards do you need? Oh man. So this is the problem right now, guys, is I feel like a lot of people in society are living like this. It's expensive, but you still want to keep up that lifestyle. And I also wanted to bring up something real quick that I feel like I hear in the comment sections a lot. It's like, oh, I just have my credit cards for an emergency. That is the worst idea I've ever heard in my life. The last thing you want to do is when you have an emergency that you can't afford is to go in debt to pay for that emergency. That is why I always recommend to have an emergency fund, cash, sitting in a savings account or a high yield interest account where it's earning interest every single month, sitting there for a rainy day. Your car breaks down, you got to go to the doctor, whatever it is, you can pull money out of that to pay for it right up front. You don't have to put it on your credit card because it just starts to snowball and gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you're stuck and you can't get your way out. Holy cow, guys, that is so scary. And the other thing to think about too is how much interest this is causing people, right? How expensive that is. That credit card debt is one of the worst debts, besides maybe like payday loans, that you can go get. because on average, you're paying around 20 to 23% on interest on your credit cards. You can't even catch up. That's the wild part, is how much extra money that's literally just, it's compared to taking $100 bill and lighting it on fire. It's literally insane how much is spent on interest from credit card debt. And it's only getting worse. That's the real problem. It's only getting worse.
I'm drowning in credit card debt. And I don't know what to do. If you're seeing this video, you probably are also drowning in credit card debt, and I wish I knew how to help you, but I don't, because I don't even know what to do for me. So here's the story. I'm 30. I'm a stay-at-home mom of 2, and I have something called cystic fibrosis. And back in November of last year, I left my career, and I had been a working person ever since I could get a permit because my health was deteriorating, and my husband and I decided it was more important that I stay home with the kids and stop trying to work at the same time and consider my health first, because obviously, if you know what CF is, it already shortens my life expectancy, and my kids deserve for me to be here as long as possible. So we did that, and everything was okay because my husband worked really hard and he figured out a way to bridge the gap between the two incomes, and it was good until it wasn't. And then we started putting stuff on credit cards, and we couldn't pay those credit cards off like we were used to. And then a couple months ago, we regrouped, we figured some stuff out, and we found some extra money. We did some extra things to make some extra money, and we started putting that towards the debt. But then our escrow went up. It was severely deficient, so our mortgage payment went up by $400 a month and took all of that extra money that we had found. And now I don't have the opportunity to go work. I don't have the opportunity, because of my health, to do anything else other than just take care of my kids and myself right now. And come next year, my husband's going to try to do more stuff on the side from his actual career to make money.
That, again, is why I will always recommend to have a nice chunk set aside for an emergency fund. I know I'm probably repeating myself in this video, but that is how true this is, because you don't want to fall into something like this, guys. Now, I feel for her. I hate that she has the health problems, and I love that she gets to spend the time with her kids. But I'm also on the side of, like, desperate times come with desperate measures. And for me, if that was my family, I'd be telling my wife, like, hey, we're going to literally be living on ramen noodles and whatever the hell the kids like to eat, grilled cheeses, for the next, 6 months until we can get caught back up on where we're at. For example, I just had a coaching client of mine. For those of you who don't know, I do financial coaching. And if you guys are interested in that, you guys can reach out to me at jj@bucknermedia.com, and we can get that set up for you guys if you guys would like to do one-on-one financial coaching with myself. And one of my coaching clients, she is in a rough spot, and her biggest thing that she's worried about is, Christmas time for her kids. And I told her, I was like, listen, Christmas time is special. It's my favorite time of the year. I love Christmas time. But given how some people are set up financially right now, Christmas time may not have to be a bunch of gifts and spending all the money. And as much as that sucks, I say use that as motivation to let the next 3 Christmases be that much better, because you have your finances in order. Don't go in credit card debt to buy gifts when you can't even afford the bills that you have right now. And that was a very eye-opening moment for her, and I'm hoping that she sticks with it, and I think she will. But it's going to be a tough year. It is, and I think a lot of people are going through this right now with the amount, look at the amount of credit card debt. We're trillions of dollars in credit card debt as a country. That's wild. And I think a lot of people are using credit cards to pay for Christmas this year. And unfortunately, that's just... That can't be where we're at right now in times, and I wish we could go back to a society where credit cards weren't even a thing, right? Where you had to live off of whatever you had in your checking account, right? Think about what that would do to the cost of items, right? Companies are able to charge these prices because people are still paying for them with their credit card. Think about what would happen if credit cards completely got wiped out. Think about what would happen as a society. There were no more credit cards. I think there would be a drastic turnaround. Now, it may be some rough times in the short term. The whole economy probably like, what the hell is going on? No one's spending any money because, no one has any. So think about what would happen there. That would be a wild experiment. Oh my gosh.
I'm in my 30s, and I am currently sitting at $25,301 with 66 cents in credit card debt. That is my own consumption, my own doing. And I also have about a $28,000, $30,000 yearly income. It's quite a tight budget, you guys, but I am determined and I am ready because this is about the third time that I've gotten on this journey. But this time is different. We have a game plan. I know exactly what to do. I've really nailed down my budget and I have been controlling my spending habits. I'm no longer running away. I don't need to take all those trips anymore. I'm no longer avoiding and spending money I don't have, which is the bare minimum that I can do at the moment, given my income, because my income is not a lot of dollars in there. However, that is the next goal that I have, is that I will increase my income, which means that I'll be able to pay off credit cards even more. And I'll keep you guys updated. It is a hard journey. I have a really good meal plan going. I, again, have a really good tight budget going. I've brought down my utilities expenses by a lot, by $300, $400, which has been wonderful. So my next goal is earning a larger income, but we're gonna do it. And hopefully by the end of 2026, imagine I pay off $25,000 on consumer debt by the end of 2026. Manifesting.
Go get it, girl. No, that is awesome to see. Now, not good to see how much credit card debt she's in, but it's good to see that she's taken initiative to get it taken care of. Now, what she said there is what I love to see. People who are taking action and doing the best two things that you can do when you're in a situation like that. First step is to figure out how to minimize expenses. She said that she found a way to save over $300 a month, which I don't know how she was able to do that. I'd be curious how she did that because that's a lot of money. Save $300 a month in her utility bill alone. She said she was on a great meal plan, so she's not spending that much going out to eat, is my assumption. So that's the first step, is minimizing your bullcrap expenses is what I like to call it, right? Figure out where you're overspending and then cut back on that. That's rule number one. Then rule number two is what she says she's doing next, and that is increasing income. Maybe you're starting a side hustle, you're getting a second job, whatever it is. Guys, if you're in a financial situation that you know is in rough shape, sometimes you have to take a year or 2 or 3 years out of your life to live, like Dave Ramsey says, live like no one else, so later you can live and give like no one else, right? So yes, I think a lot of people are so scared, they don't want to live in a sense of inconvenience because it's hard, right? It's not easy. But if you do it and you get through it, it is, guys, the light on the other side of the tunnel is, I wish you could give a little taste to people, right? Just be listen, this is what's possible. You got to do it.
I'm being sued by a credit card company for $5,000 for not paying the bill. You know how you don't know what you don't know? Well, I learned this the hard way. I got into a lot of debt being a single mom in nursing school. I really racked my credit cards up surviving, And then when I started making money, I tried really hard to pay them off, but it just I was drowning in it. I just had a really hard time getting out of it. I tried to get a loan and I couldn't get approved for one, so I ended up consolidating all my debt. I did research it. I understood I was going to ruin my credit. I knew that it was going to be bad, but I had just gotten a new car. I had my place. It was fine. I could handle this for a couple years and just have bad credit for a while, then build it back up. And this is my fault for not understanding, but I just didn't know. You have to stop paying on the bills because they won't settle your credit card bills unless there's you're behind on them and there's a need for it. So you just stop paying on them, which felt wrong, but it's what I did. But one of the ones that I owed $5,000 on, which was my biggest one, that was the only one that they didn't shut down, and it just kept growing and growing and growing. And I was what the do I do? And they were just keep paying us and we'll get it settled. And I was okay, this is what I do. Eventually the credit card did get shut down, but I still never got the documentation saying it was settled. And I was it'll probably be coming. I just need to build that account up more, whatever. So I've been paying my monthly payments, you know, trying to get it settled. And then today, as I'm sitting in my car, I get served. And like, I just didn't even know that this was an option. The credit card company's suing me for the $5,000, but I've also been paying the $5,000 off from the other company. So of course I call them and I spend all morning on the phone with these people. And they're just like, well, all we can do is extend your payments out, because obviously they have to make a profit, right? So if it's settled for the amount that it's settled for, then they're not making a profit. So they want mass amounts more money in order to settle this now. But I'm also at the same time being sued and have to go to court over this. And they're now telling me like, oh, well, you won't have to go to court if you just extend your payments to us. But like, that doesn't seem right. Like, I don't know. I can't afford a lawyer. I literally don't know what I'm supposed to do anymore. And it's just one of those things that feels like I tried so hard. Like, I got myself through nursing school as a single mom, and it was really hard. And I've been trying so hard to get ahead, and every time something happens, it's just like this. Like, I'm never gonna be okay. And it's one of those times I wish I just had a family member I could call to rescue me. But I don't. I just feel like I have to try so much harder than everybody else just for the like bare minimum of life. And you know, I did the whole thing where like you break your poverty circles, which I know is hard. You know, I'm the first one in my family with a college education. I'm the first one of my siblings to graduate high school. Like, you know, I tried really hard. And I know at least for my kids it'll be easier for them. They'll never have to try this hard, or they'll at least have help when they need it. But I'm just really tired. This has been a really shitty year.
Oh, I hate seeing that. Like, that makes me want to just like jump through the screen and like give her a hug and say, it's going to be okay. Here's what we got to do. This is what I hate about like our country, I guess. Like, nowhere in life are you taught financial literacy. Like, nowhere. You kind of just learn it on your own, or you're taught whatever your parents teach you, and that's it. And these are the situations people get in because they simply don't know. And I hate that. I absolutely hate that. And that was the driving factor of me starting this channel, was wanting to help people become better financially, to hopefully prevent some people from getting in this situation. But the problem is, like, you got to be searching for this content, or luckily the algorithm threw it on your For You page and, you know, my ugly mug popped up and for some reason you wanted to click on it. But that's what it takes, guys. And oh, gosh dang it, I hate that many people are in that girl's same situation and they're just not talking about it publicly. I hate that. I hate that so many people are walking around the streets today struggling inside because they're not sure how they're going to keep paying their bills next month. And I hope there's a way as a society we can figure out to get our ways out of it. But right now, I don't feel super hopeful. I really don't.
All your credit cards are about to start getting declined. Consumer debt is out of control, and people cannot pay their credit cards. They can't pay their student loans, and soon they're not going to be able to pay their mortgages. Check this out. Credit card balances just hit an all-time high of $1.2 trillion, and the average consumer now carries $6,730 in consumer debt. And the most wild part is the average consumer, 59% of all Americans, can't come up with $1,000 for an emergency. There's no way they're going to pay off their consumer debt. The median savings account for the average American is $8,000. And that's a huge spread because it's skewered by the people who have the majority of the money. 66% of the wealth is controlled by the top 1%. But what's even crazier, and this is why your credit cards are about to get declined, delinquency rates in Q1 of 2025 have increased to 14.1%. That means 14 out of 100 people are now at least 30 days late on their credit card. And in lower income areas, over 20%, 22% are now in delinquency. That means 1 out of 5 individuals are now delinquent on their credit cards. But what's most fascinating that CNN and Fox isn't covering is the atrocity with the buy now, pay later. Kmart used to have a layaway plan where you can buy something, they'll put it in storage, you can make payments on it, and when you pay it off, you'll get your item. Now you get your item and you can pay for it over time like credit, but it's not a credit card. It's a layaway plan, but you get the item up front. The main culprit, Klarna, just posted losses of $136 million, a rise in Q1 of 17%. People cannot afford to live, they cannot afford to pay their credit cards, and they cannot afford to pay for their Chipotle burrito that they DoorDashed on a buy now, pay later opportunity. Consumer spending is slowing, GDP is slowing, and the credit card companies are in trouble. Don't be surprised when you go to the register and your credit limit has been reduced and you're now maxed out on your credit card and you're no longer able to swipe for that Starbucks latte.
The time is ticking, people, and no one's coming to save you. No one is coming to help you get out of this mess. If you truly want to change your life financially, you and your spouse, if you have one, are the only people that can take the initiative to get you out of this mess. You're the only one that can do it. And once you understand that and you choose to make that decision to say, I'm not living this way anymore, I'm taking control of my finances, then you have officially won. You got this.